Submain to kitchen, locks off. And this morning had an investigation of the 4 rings in the kitchen, which I've called Alpha, Delta. Oh, blast it, there's wet paint. Alpha, Delta, Bravo, and Charlie up here. So I've got Bravo, Delta, Alpha, and Charlie ring socket, ring finals. How to get additional protection onto those ring finals from this. So one of the problems we had was with Delta ring limitation on, because there was no R2 reading. So we've got R1, R2 there. I don't know, we've got a limb there. Oh yeah, R2. Fine. Oh, I never took the R2 reading on that. I still need to do that, the little R2. Okay, so the limb, we've now got 0.21 on the R1, R2, and I measured the ZS at 0.34. And that's because I found the break in, well, actually the ring was bridged and broken, and so we've restored that. So back to what I was saying. So I'm going to take this main switch out here, feed the 16mm conductors back up into there, and I cut out the bottom of this, the whole bottom, and then I've just gone and collected, I've got a circuit breaker, RCBO for each of the sockets ring finals. I've actually got 2 20s and 2 32s there, so yeah, 2 of them will be 20s, so it won't matter because they're quite small ring finals. A couple of them only have about 2 double sockets on them anyway, so 20's fine. They didn't have 4 32s at Cities. I've got 2 C-type breakers. Now, the 50 is what the submain is protected at anyway, so there's going to be no discrimination. Yeah, so the submain will come into here, and then I'll feed it back out as another submain, a daisy chain as it were, back to that board up there. That will go out to that. So that's protected at C50 here and type 350 back in the main board with the 3781s. And then the second 3-phase circuit will be for a cooker, which is going under that hood there. And I didn't know what value that should be at, so I bought a C40 for that. This horizontal board is going to go in instead of that isolator valve or isolator switch that's up there at the moment. So I'll have my 2 3-phase circuits. Taken out the bottom of the enclosure, so I've got free passage for all my cables. I'm going to put a couple of layers of heat shrink over each one. You're not faced with 400 volts, close to each other. So yeah, so the joints are staggered, and so they're protected additionally by the original insulation on 1 cable each. So I'm going to extend them, which I've got with some tri-rated cable, which is this flexible stuff with 70 cores as opposed to the normal number, which does make it a bit more flexible. It's tri-rated, so it's higher temperature and higher current rating than ordinary PVC cable. Not that it needed to be that, but this is what they had, and I'm quite happy with it because it'll make manoeuvring it around inside the containment much more simple and straightforward. Here we are. I've crimped all these on. Now it just remains for me to put a couple of layers of heat shrink on each one. go. Two layers of that heat shrink on there. It's all pretty neat. We'll keep the phases in the same orientation to the board. And the board will go on here. I'm extending these rings from this box to this box. It's not the neatest. I don't know really how to make it neater than that. They're quite thick cables in there. So it's not going to be the neatest installation. I've got to get all this tidied up, all this, and out here. I'm going to get this all tidied up because I've got an EICR tomorrow. It's lunchtime now. This is how far I've got. So I've done all the testing on these. These are the extensions. It's not the neatest job, I grant you that, but without taking out these bars, I can't really thread the wires, thread the conductors in any other way. So I've got my 4 rings in the kitchen rings now protected, additional protection. I've got a new breaker for the 3-phase cooker that's going in there, and then this breaker is for the whole of this board here, 50 amp breaker. So I've just put a 20 amp in here for now. I don't know how much it is going to be, the range, a 3-phase range, possibly more than that, but I can change it at the time. So I'm just going to get the front on, label it up, and then have a bit of a clear out.